Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings on Thursday with Petra, with me. For those of you who know me, they've been following me and coming every Thursday, thank you for coming back. For those of you who are new, we've been doing this since September last year, and I've been really enjoying it and connecting with you. For me, I've been working in energy space since I was, living in energy space since I was 7 years old. Started seeing energy when I was 11, went through a beautiful, whole, gorgeous, intense healing journey, and ended up healing myself completely, although I, had doctors doubting on things. But tonight, we are talking about Healy and we are talking about animals, and I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful human joining me tonight. And I'm so excited to share this with you because I know a lot of you have been asking me for months now when the animal model will be and what can we do with animals and all of that. And she is a wealth of knowledge and been doing this for, I don't know, I don't want to say eons, but I feel like she's been like doing this more longer than just in this lifetime. So before we go and jump, I just want to share a slide so you can actually, zoomy, zoom. How are you doing this to me? Let me just organize this one. So we have this. Okay, so we have all the stuff. So if you need translations and things like that. So today we are joined by Donna, and we are going to talk about animal module. So, but before we go into the presentation and I introduce her, if you need a translation, please click the globe interpretation icon on the bottom of your screen and choose a language. Yeah, so if you're joining us from Thailand, it will not show Thai, it will show Turkish. So just make sure to click on Turkish and it will have a translator for you to broadcast that translation for you in Thai. And if you want to choose Japanese or Chinese, it's already present in the Zoom. Yeah. And before we drop into anything, as always, every Thursday, all our Healy devices, Healy devices, are beautiful microcurrent frequency devices, and they have different applications, but they're not meant to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, prevent any medical disease. They're beautiful tools to support our body and today our animals, but to create an environment where our bodies or the bodies of the animals can heal themselves. So without further ado, I'm just going to stop this and introduce beautiful Donna. I met her physically in Sydney 2 years ago, and I was just blown away by her knowledge. And I just learned so much, especially for animals, and I love animals. And been dreaming to have my own dog since I was like 3 years old. Still didn't get there, but I'm getting there sooner or later. But I will give her the floor to tell everything about what she is and what she does, because she does so many things at once. So she will tell you all the bits and pieces so you can get to know her. Please, Donna, welcome.
Well, thank you, Petra, and hello and welcome. I see a few faces I know here, people that I know. I'm going to share my screen. This is all a little bit exciting today, so give us 2 seconds and we'll go straight to our presentation. Disclaimer, which I know that you've just gone through, Petra. So for those that don't know me, I did speak actually in Sydney, Australia a couple of years ago about animals and the animal module. So it was really exciting when Petra reached out to me a month or so ago and said, hey, Donna, will you come online and talk about the animal programs? And I said, I'm not going to go and talk to Healy does a promotion for us to get the animal frequency. So I just want to say thank you to Healy for actually listening. And for those people who are listening to this and you haven't actually seen your email, because I was saying to Petra, I can't see my email that tells me that the animal programs are on special this month. please go have a look, or Petra will tell you at the end how to go and get them. So for anybody, the animal programs or the animal frequencies, these are only on special, I believe, this month. And instead of paying on a month-to-month basis, you get to buy them outright, which I just love. I was going to buy them for all of my devices, but, you know, I think I'll just narrow it down to one because I only have one dog now. I basically bought my Healy, I think it was roughly about 4 years ago. And it's quite funny because I think they used to call it the Healy effect. When somebody tried it, they just needed to have it. Well, I didn't even try it. I saw it shared online. They were bringing it to Brisbane. I see Jamie is on here. I think he might have been one of the early adopters. And they were bringing it to Brisbane. And I thought, I don't know what that is, but I want it because I need it for my own health, what I felt was what I had at that particular time. And literally when my device arrived and I went into the resonance and I saw that we had bush flowers and materia medica and tissue salts, I just thought, wow, this is an absolute game changer when it comes to working with animals. Now, the information today that I'm sharing is my own observation from working with my pets, working with my clients, and I have about 3,000, close to 4,000 people in my group called Frequencies for Pets. And I got to say, it's been a little quiet lately because unless I'm in there talking and sharing and doing things, everybody kind of sits and watches. But I encourage people to participate, share the information that you get from your animals or get from working with your animals and Healy, because, you know, I sort of laughed when they asked me to come and talk on here because I went, well, I don't consider myself any more knowledgeable than most people out there. It's just that I use the device all the time, and therefore, you know, because I test and play with it, I can share that knowledge with people. So Healy is a tool, and that's something you really must remember about it. It's a very powerful tool, right? And, you know, we can use this for ourselves. We can use it for our pets. You know, I love that little tool because you can pop it in your purse. You can take it anywhere with you. I have actually used my Healy device right until the day that several of my animals passed and headed over to the Rainbow Bridge, and I was running gold release for them, right? So I've used it as a tool for many, many years with my pets. I had originally, when I first got my device, 3 senior golden retrievers and a cat. And then I got a senior poodle. You'll see pictures of these animals. And so, you know, without this, I think I would have spent a lot more money at the vets. But of course, we can't diagnose and we can't treat, but it is a magic tool, right? So if you want to reach out to me at any time, catch me up on Facebook or catch me up in the Facebook groups or come to my website and say hello. Oh, I love this presentation. It's got flash little things happening. Down the bottom here is my beautiful golden retriever. That was Ajax. So I'm from the Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. I'm an animal communicator / animal healer. What does that mean? I intuitively connect in with animals. I have been professional doing this business for over 6 years. I've also studied kinesiology, dowsing, Australian bushflower practitioner. I've got certificates in Schussler salts, bark flowers or batch flowers, I think the people in the UK say. I've worked with essential oils for animals, and I'm also a practitioner for Web, which is energy healing created by a vet here in Australia. So I would say I'm a lifelong learner of animals and their well-being. And of course, people feel free to take pictures of this. Just don't go and plagiarize my beautiful photos because these are my animals. Anything that you take, please credit back to me, okay? Let's see. So when we all get our beautiful Healy device, you know, people often say, oh, I want, you know, what am I going to do to heal? You all are amazing beings and you can all heal yourself, but just sometimes we need assistance. And that's where I feel that this comes in with us, for us, right? When it comes to your pets, people get really confused. They go, all of a sudden, any knowledge that they've learned about Healy goes out the window and they think it's got to become complicated. I follow the principles of KISS. Keep it really simple, and then they keep it simple, silly, or whatever it is. But I really like to make things easy. Don't complicate things. All right. And so today I'm going to simply go through and show you what I do. We're going to talk about the resonance, and then we're going to talk about the pink app with the animal programs in there. If you've got any questions, please fire away. Petra will share them with me. But probably what I'll do is I'll take a break halfway through, answer some, and then we'll finish up and I'll answer all your questions. So don't worry, I won't forget you. So if you're, actually, can you just put your hands up if you're new to Healy in terms of using it for animals? We've got a couple of people. Beautiful. Come on, Jamie, I'm sure you've used that for your animals. Okay, beautiful. So 4 people have raised their hands up that they're new out of 86 people. I'm sure we got a few more people. So I'm going to just make it very, very simple, right? We'll talk about it, we'll go through. You can write this down. So this is a little protocol that you can follow. When you go to your resonance, now I'm hoping everybody here has a beautiful resonance device. I'm trying to find myself on the screen here. There we go. So, you know, when you get your device, we now have lots of different types of devices, but essentially it's just this little tool here, and it depends on what sort of programs you got on there. The resonance is, let's refer to it as the blue app because it makes it really simple when talking about it. So when you go in there, you go into the clients and you would have added yourself. But if you scroll down, you'll get the option to add in animals. You also have the option to add in plants. You also have the option to add in vehicles, all sorts of things, but just choose animals, right? Now, one of the things that people get a little bit stuck on is they might not know the date of birth of their pet because, for instance, it could be a rescue. So I just say, let's just go with, say, the gotcha day or the day that they arrived or the day that you adopted them, right? We add that in. And then you would record their vibration. So when you're recording the vibration, hold it in your non-dominant hand. So for me, that would be my left hand. And then I just simply visualize the animal that I'm working with. And I would say, for instance, if I was working with my golden retriever, I am Ajax. And I really visualize that I am that pet, right? And I just keep repeating that over and visualizing them so that the frequency is being added in. You can pop it on them, you can still hold it on them, etc. Don't forget to add a photo in of that animal and as much information. Now, I don't get carried away and put my exact street address and all that thing, but, you know, put in as much as you can, right? Basically, you've now set up your pet in there and we can start our first scan. Now, great tip, if you've got quite a few animals in the house, I often get people say to me, hey, Donna, I've got 20 cats. I'd be here all day trying to add them in, do a scan on them, add them in as a group, right? You might want to group them from your really healthy cats or your young cats versus your old cats, etc. But you can break your animals up into groups. Yes, try and get a photo of them in a particular group, etc. if you can, but that's not always possible, right? But I like to add them in as groups. And you can do your scans that way. Don't forget as well, you can scan and deliver the frequency, for instance, to water that you're feeding to your pets as well, or you're sharing with your pets. So, you know, our beautiful little tools here have got lots of uses. So the next question I get from lots of people is what programs should I use? Just need to take this little screen away. It's driving me crazy. Here we go. What programs can I use? And so what I like to do is let Healy work for me. So with my resonance, I do 3 searches, right? Oh, sorry, 3 scans. That shouldn't say searches. That should be 3 scans. I scan, first of all, for all programs. And I like to look at it as if it's the overview of what's going on with my pet and tells me in real time what's happening with them. So I do the overall scan and it will deliver to me the top 5 programs, and I might deliver that to my pets. Now, if this is the first time I've worked with that animal, I would only deliver it for 37 seconds, right? Now, some people are going to go, oh, no, so-and-so told me blah, blah, blah. I'm always of the belief less is more. So I always start just a small amount, right? Over time, you might work up to 1 minute 37, but I prefer to start with 37 seconds. So say my top program came up as gold, I would then rescan that top program, my gold, right? And that's going to tell me more specifically what's going on with my pet. And then I would run that gold program again for 37 seconds. And then my next scan would be the animal program, right? And I do exactly the same. Now that may be all that I do for my pets today, right? So I've given them 3 boosts of 37 seconds. You might be really, really short on time and you just go, I just want to know what's going on with my pets. You could just run the animal program if you wanted to, right? There is no hard and fast rule as to, and you can take your hands down if you want to. There's no hard and fast rule as to what you have to do, what is right and what is wrong. The only rule I'm going to ask you to follow is just use 37 seconds, right? Eventually you can work them up, but don't overdo it. Some people just go wild. I mean, I've read some stories where people have been running frequencies all night with their pets and all sorts of things. And I think, well, way too much, right? Once you've done these 3 programs, if you choose to, you can go in and do the Australian Bushflower Essence or the Alaskan Gems or whatever. Because what I love about these is that, you know, we've got the essences or the homeopathics. They're a fantastic way to support your pet. Okay, so I've already talked about this, but I'll just go back over it. How long should I deliver them? From my own experience, less is more or slow and low. And slow and low really refers to your pink app, but less is more is, you know, when we're talking about the blue app. And this became really obvious to me when I got really excited about the animal program come out, and it was only on our blue app. And I went, woohoo, I've got my beautiful old golden retriever. I'll deliver the frequencies to him. And I set it for around 5 minutes. And then next thing I know, the poor old guy had diarrhea. Now, this was because I just delivered the frequencies for too long to him. He wasn't used to it. And that was where I came back to say, always start with 37 seconds when your pet has never, ever used these before, and then slowly work up, right? One of the girls in the group said she had a beautiful bull mastiff, and that particular dog would get a little bit irritated or agitated if she ran the frequencies too long, right? Whereas the other dog didn't matter. She'd work the dog up into using it for a total of 12 minutes a day. So watch your pets. If your pet's ears are starting to, head's starting to move, the ears are twitching, they're licking, they're showing signs of, look, I'm not, you know, I've had enough, then that's enough for today, right? Always watch them. If your pet gets up and walks away, they've had enough. Watch their body language. Each pet has their own needs. And for instance, my little poodle weighed 6 kilos, whereas my golden retriever weighed 32 kilos. So, you know, you've got 2 different animals. And, you know, for me, I always think about, well, I'm always going to make sure I do it on the lesser side, like 37 seconds rather than running it longer. Your dog might be old, they might be young, they might be sick. They might just need support, but there's support. There is no one answer to the amount of time, but always go for the slow side. So what pets can use this? Now, I just love this. These have been pictures that people have shared in the group. We've got a little rat, a chicken. Look at this beautiful little kitten. This is 2 of my golden retrievers, a little duck, my poodle, a raccoon, and a little Joey kangaroo. I was kind of like laughing. I went, why isn't my cat up here? So, you know, I've spoken to people who've used it on obviously horses, goats, pigs, guinea pigs. There is, as far as I'm aware, no animals that you can't use it on. I've even had somebody ask me about running frequencies for their goldfish. So you know, we're only limited to our imagination of how we can help and serve our pets. So a big question I get asked all the time is, help, my pet is really sick. I don't know how many times I've heard this. All I can say is that when it comes to, I need to fix my dog, you can't fix anything, right? We're not here to fix them. We're here to support them. If your pet is sick, please take him to the vet and have them diagnosed and treated. All right. I can tell you some horror stories where people went, oh, no, I'm just going to do this, this, and this. No, take your pet to the vet, get them diagnosed, and then you've got a starting point. If you've got a seriously ill pet, it's a really good idea to have a starting point, and then you know how you can support them with using the Healy or any other tool that you might have there. Intention is everything. Now, this is really, really important. When, you know, you'll have people say to you, it's just a little white thing. For me, it's about how you work with this, right? So I'm always working on a positive basis with my Healy tool. And I expect that my animals are going to have great results with it. They're not going to say to you, oh, Donna, that was really, really good. I could feel it. They do to me sometimes, but you know, the thing is I always come from the basis that I'm looking at, my intention is that it's delivering to them, it's healing them, it's helping them, and I'm getting the best possible results. All right, now I know we're not allowed to say it's going to heal with healing, but myself as a energy healer, then I can use those words, okay. Let me see. Oh, yes,
Donna,
and the other thing, yeah.
sorry to interrupt. I just got in a chat, somebody said audio not too loud, not enough loud, I guess. Audio is great. Okay, I hear you great as well. I'm just asking everyone else's audio actually okay? You can hear Donna? Okay, so it's only one person. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to double check if everybody is okay.
I've got, I can't even see people on my screen now. Sorry about that.
That's
so
okay. I will.
If you do have a pet that's sick, right, and say it's needing something more specific, then I would encourage you to reach out to one of our time waiver people and get an individual frequency made up, right? Because, you know, sometimes there is more than what Healy can do for our pets, and that the individual time waiver people can make up something very specific. Now, my beautiful golden retriever on the screen there had lymphoma cancer. And so I reached out to Brid Hanlon, which most people know. I met her in Sydney and had a conversation with her. All right. So, you know, there is more that we can offer our pets than what we see here with Healy. We can go through and get a time waiver program done. Okay, so my next big question people always ask me is, what frequencies should I use? Now, I just love this question. So first of all, if you've used your Blue app and you've done your scan and it's come back, say for instance, our top program for is the gold program, and say it comes through and says it's calm, then for me, what I then do is I go over to my Pink app and I would run that for my pet, right? Because, you know, quite often if calm's coming up, that would tell me that, you know, there may be some anxiety, there could be some stress, there could be some things going on for you, and your animals are reflecting that. And what I want to do is help them by running those frequencies, right? The other thing that you may wish to do is you may just wish to stick with what is being shown in the animal programs, because they're very tricky, the animal programs. So we're going to talk about that more specific in a minute, but they were designed, when you look at them, it's really like the top 12 things that may be going on for your pet at that time. So, you know, depending upon what you feel or what comes up in the resonance for you, this is where you would step over to your Pink app and then you would deliver those more specifically to your pets. All right. if you're stuck or you don't have a clue what you really want to do or help them with, don't forget we have the Healy Advisor. Now, once you purchase the animal programs under the Healy Advisor, it will come up as well and list all the animal programs. So you can put things in there that your pet might be experiencing, and it would then tell you what is a program that would be relevant for that. Or you could simply just go in there. Say, for instance, you might have joint pain. You could go in under the Healy Advisor and type in joint, and it will tell you several frequencies that you could deliver. The other thing that I love, and I'm going to stop sharing screen here for a minute. Oops. Here we go. I encourage absolutely everybody to print out your Healy programs, right? These were in the back office. I'm sure they're still in the back office, but these basically live on my desk. And in my business, when I'm talking to pet owners and I'm talking to people who have got Healy devices, we have a conversation about what is on these programs. Become familiar with these programs, right? You'll soon get to the point of going, oh yes, say it's eyes. I know under BioBalance one that there's eyes, but once you also start using the animal programs, you will see that there's also eyes in here, right? So depending upon what programs you've got, you'll start to know what you can deliver to your pets. All right. Love, love, love this. This has been printed out on my desk for 4 years. Anybody got any questions so far? Am I talking
Yes,
too
there was a question on the 37 seconds, and it was Queenie was asking, is it for each program? You know, when you scan in the app, you know, gold cycle comes up and different, and then you scan into it. Do you do just the top one, 37 seconds, or like 2 of the top ones, 37 seconds? Just one.
So what I do is I would run the top 5 programs, which is all programs, right? 37 seconds, then say whatever is my next top program, whatever that comes up, say it was gold, I scan again for gold, and then I deliver that again for 37 seconds. So I might deliver 3 times of 37 seconds, but it would be all programs, my top program, and then animal program. Does that make sense, Queenie? Just pop in.
She will, yeah, so she will pop in. Yes, thank you so much, she said. Okay, and there's another one. In your opinion, non-animal, what percentage strength and animal, what percentage? So the non-animal programs and the animal programs, do you do it at the same strength, at the same percentage strength, like the intensity?
I'm going to get to that question when we
Okay,
get in
no worries.
the pink app, right? So I've just been so far really talking about the blue app. And the good thing about the blue app is we don't have to worry about percentages. We just worry about the amount of time that we're delivering it. All right, we just click on the little drop down and go, this is what we're delivering. So we're back to share screen, and fingers crossed that I always love it when it decides to change. You know, I used to teach Microsoft products. Now I can't even get my way around here. So we've talked about the blue app. I'm talking about programs to choose. The reason I talk about just choosing programs in here is more particularly because sometimes, and this is one that we're all going to laugh at, to me, whatever the Healy tells you is really what we should follow, like trust your Healy. But sometimes we don't always want to trust Healy, right? And I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, your pet had diarrhea, and you might just think, oh, look, I haven't got the animal programs yet, but I just want to top up and do something for them. And this would be when you go and you look on all your microcurrent frequencies that you have on what program would be best for them, right? And that's why I encourage you to learn a little bit about those programs to know and understand. But if you're stuck, go to the Healy Advisor. I mean, you know, we are pretty blessed in that Healy give us all sorts of different options to help us with finding out what is the best program to deliver to not only us, but our pets. So next big question I get all the time is, when you start to deliver with the pink app, what should you use? So for those people who have rushed out and bought the Healy animal frequencies, you will get the Healy kit. And I'm going to show you what it looks like before the end of it and how to use it. But you get a set of straps that you can actually put on. I don't know, can we see me in the screen here for a second? Stop sharing. Here's my demonstration golden retriever. And what you get is in your kit, if you buy the animal kit, you get this really strange strap, which is obviously for a bigger animal. You get a couple of little straps like this that you can extend out. You can extend out to make it larger or smaller, right? It's all very tricky, this. And you then secure it on your pet, as I have done on here. Stay up there, my little golden retriever. You get this bag and you get these and these. These sponges you wet and then you pop this little, what do you call it? I'm going to call it a doodah, but that's not its technical name. Petra, what do you call these things?
I don't know. I rename stuff as well, so I have no idea.
These plastic things.
Maybe Jeffrey.
What they
Jeffrey,
call?
do you know? Jeffrey, do you know how do you call that?
What's the technical? Oh, there you go. Conductive pads. I like
pads. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. We've got to have a bit of fun. You pop them in there, and then you have these long straps. As per normal, we have some straps. And you put your two, where's my Healy device? Here we go. You put your plugs into your Healy device. And this little end, it's very hard to do a demonstration. You put these each side of your pet like this, right? And you hook them up like this, right? So if you get the animal programs, you will get this kit. It will be sent out to you as a bonus. So you've got it. In the old days, or the old days, I call it, when we first started with Healy, I used to lasso my golden retriever, and I used to hold him down to the ground with the straps and make him stay there. I would amuse myself for hours trying to get the straps on him and his paws, etc. Thank you, such a cute model. So, you know, the question is do we use the straps as in the kit? Do we use the coil? Or do we do nothing, right? What about crossing the heart? We are recommended to not do that on a human. Jamie, do you want to explain what you mean by that? Unmute yourself. Oh, you can't.
They can't. I'll mute Jamie.
Oh, sorry. That's all right. You can come back later and just explain, and then I can answer your question for you. So for most people, they just want to know with their animal, what should you use? If you've got the kit, you can do this. One of the things I do find, though, is that if an animal can walk around, then it's a little bit frustrating if you've got them secured like that. You do need to sit with them, right? But if you were to put, say, the coil on them, you can clip it on them or clip it onto their little collar, and it gives them a little bit more freedom. One thing I will say is if you're going to secure a Healy device on your pet, particularly a dog, don't let them drink water, because I've seen them go dum, 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 into the water bowl, right? So always, same as yourself, make sure that it's nice and secure and it can't get wet, and your animals don't chew it either, right? Just going to go back to here. So when we first started, we didn't have the animal kit and the straps. That was all about you could leave it 3 foot away from the pets, etc. I personally love the coil for my pets because I just found it was a really, really easy way, particularly when you had old animals, just to let it sit beside them. but do what works best for you. You know, for me, if I'm using the straps, then I know it's going, you know, really into their cells, because remember that the frequencies that are delivered by the straps and the coil are slightly different. And I'm not going to go into that today. Go back and ask the person who sponsored you or supported you into Healy what that means, or go into the back office and do a bit of reading about it. But the frequencies are slightly different that are delivered from the straps and the coil, and work out what would be best for you. All right. For me, for the old dogs, I definitely love the coil because I just knew it was an easier way to help them. Okay, understanding blue versus pink. So a confusion a lot of people get is that when they open up their resonance, they see the animal program under the resonance, but that is being delivered to your information field, remember. When you want to be more specific and have it delivered to the cells, that's when you need to have the frequencies, right, which is our animal program that's currently available on special. You buy that. If you don't get it on the special, then you would get it on a month-to-month basis. They will be under your pink app. All right, so I know it gets a bit confusing, but if you haven't bought it or you don't pay on a month-to-month basis, you will not have it under your pink app. I do not believe, somebody can correct me, but I don't believe it was ever given out on any devices as part of a promotion. Right, so it's just something to note. So for instance, if you don't buy the animal programs, then you can only ever deliver the animal frequencies under the blue app. And I know that if you're new here, this is all confusing, but just take some time to look, right? And that's why I like to talk about the blue app versus the pink app versus the Heal Advisor. These two apps here, this little pink one and this blue one, I believe they're old apps. This pink one here is your new looking app that you'll find in the App Store. One tip that I will give everybody is always make sure you update your apps. You know, if you have a problem, go check to see whether they need to be updated, because sometimes might be a sneaky little update. And if we haven't got an update, then sometimes it's not going to work. Always been a tip. Okay, so what are the animal programs? I love these 12 animal programs in that they cover all the major things that might be happening with your pet. One question that I do get asked a lot about is suffering. Now, a lot of people stress about this. If they do a scan and it comes up and it says suffering, they have a little bit of a meltdown about, you know, what have I done or what am I not doing for my pet? Why are they suffering? You know, it could be that they're just bringing up old traumas or old fears or old things that are happening in their life, right? Please do not have a meltdown about it. I always like to go, well, okay, if it comes up for me, then I'm acknowledging that there's something going on for my pets and I'm going to help them work through it. All right. For most of these programs, when you look at them, they are all self-sufficient, self-explanatory. Definitely, if you've got old pets, joints number 12 is just amazing, right? Go through each of these. If your animals, this is a really fun one. If your animal, like a Labrador, Labradors eat everything in sight, right? You'll see people often having to take their Labradors to the vets and get them cleaned out because they eat socks and all sorts of things. This cleaning program here would be absolutely perfect after the operation and to support them going through having had operations, etc. So the thing I love about the animal programs is if I feel my animal's a little bit off, I will run this program and it will give me a really good understanding of where they are at. Now, I recently adopted a crazy fox terrier. He's at 17 out of 10 energy level. And the first thing I did when I got him home was I thought, oh, what am I going to do with this dog and how am I going to work with him? I ran the Healy on him, the Healy animal programs, because I wanted to see where he was at and how I could support him. Emotions was his highest frequency that come up, and it's about excitement, fears, abandoned behavior. That says abundant. I think it's meant to be abandoned. That's what came up for him, right? So, and then the next thing that came up for him was about gut and, you know, just dealing with things. Well, he'd been fed PAL dog food all of his life, and he has a really, really weak tummy, and he's very, very sensitive to certain foods. So it's really interesting. You know, we've got a hypersensitivity. So say, for instance, on this dog, I've run the programs. I've done my scan under the pink app, the blue app, and then it come up here with the emotions, and then it come up here with hypersensitivity and microbiotica, right? I would then go, all right, today I need to go through and I need to run this for him, emotions, but I would also be supporting these other two programs. So what does that mean? I run the scan today because I know this is something that's not just an everyday thing, but a really deep set of things going on with this dog. I mean, he's 5 years of age. He's been surrendered to a rescue. So I scan him Monday. I run the same frequencies every single day for him for a week, right? I don't flip and change to different ones because I really want to address that problem that's going on at that moment in time. Does that make sense to everybody? Quite often we just run a new scan every day. If this is something that's, you know, more than an everyday thing, I would only scan them Monday, and I would run the same program that comes up every single day for a week, and then I rescan the following week, right? Because it's become something that's more than an everyday support. Now, for this particular dog, his energy is still all over the place. So I then supported him with Australian bushflower essence, and I also made him up a bushflower essence because being a practitioner, I can make that up. So he's getting frequencies delivered to him, but he's also orally taking them. So we're on slide number 10. I'm just checking it's the time. Question about how long do we run these, or what percentage do we run these? I'm of the belief slow and low, right? So I go between 15 and 25 for my pets, right? 15 when I'm starting them out. The reason being is once again, I don't want to sort of overdo them. Oh, somebody's drawing on our screen. You know, I always start low, and then I might increase them up to 25 over time. When I say over time, this might be a week or two. But for instance, that little poodle that was 6 kilos, she only ever was on 10 to 15, right? The golden retriever that was 32 kilos, he eventually went up to 20 and then 25, but that's my tops, right? Even if I put the coil on, now people say with the coil, you can, or I was taught, and if it's changed this information, please share, but I was taught you can, you know, ramp your coil up to 90% or something like that. I still leave it down lower for my pets, right? That's just me, because observing them over time, I always watched what was happening with them and how they reacted to it. So if you don't get the animal programs, that's okay. Highly encourage you to get them because they are on special this month. But the other programs that I love, I've got some of them on the screen here that we'll talk about. But don't forget, in your blue app, the bark flowers, the Australian bushflower essences, the Schussler salts, the homeopathics. Now, Materia Medica, unless you've got an old grandfathered in device, you won't have that. It's all tucked away with some other things, but and I think the amino acids are too now, but the bark flowers, the bush flowers, the Schussler salts, these programs are amazing for your pets, right? Learn about the programs, do some study. There's lots of great information out there on the web. I know a couple of people have done webinars. If you come over to my group, Frequencies for Pets, I've done webinars on some of these things. I should really do some more. I just love the way we can support with those. But getting into a deeper level, right? Because remember, our pink app goes into our cells. So if you've got a few things happening with your pets, here's some really great frequencies that you can use. For instance, coherence. We all know coherence is there. It's great for us for calming and relaxation. Absolutely amazing for our pets. I can't tell you the amount of times that I used to run my Healy and my cat would sit on my lap. My cat wanted it, right? So I was going, no worries. The dogs would be there. We would all be enjoying it together. So coherence. Well-being is really good for a dog that's overstimulated and just needs to chillax out. Inner strength is great for rescue pets to help with anxiety. Fatigue, I used to run often on my 16-year-old golden retriever just to help give him a little boost. Release, which is in your gold program. It's good not only for animals that are passing, and also you can use the Australian bushflower essence, but, you know, release might be, say, for instance, you bring a rescue dog home, you might want to use release just to help them let go of their past, right? Gold programs, release, relax, balance. Balance, great for storm phobic dogs. I love gold programs. Don't ever underestimate the power of the gold program for your pets, for you and your pets, right? We've got the joint programs. You've obviously got that in the animal program, but if you don't have the animal program, go and use joints, go and use pain, perfect for arthritis. There's the skin program. So if your pets have got itchy skin, you can go and use that. You might want to run a detox on them, but if you're doing the detox, remember slow and low, lots and lots of water. If they're doing lots of barking, throat chakras, or you could use balance. And of course, don't forget the animal programs because they are specifically designed for your pets. And there's something in each one of those programs that are really going to help your pet. Oh, okay, we're at the end of it. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to shut that off. Maybe stop sharing, and I'm back on the screen. So yeah, what questions have you got? We've got about 10 minutes. Happy to sit here and answer any questions for you. And hopefully I've helped you today learning a little bit more about the animal programs and how to use them for your pets.
Thank you, Donna. We do have, so Jeffrey and Jamie. Jamie, do you want to actually put your hand up and explain what you wanted to ask before with Donna? Okay, here you go. You can unmute.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Donna, and for Petra putting this on. Okay, so yeah, the question was, so, 4 years ago when I got started with Healy, they were saying with humans that when we had the sticky pads, not to cross them over the heart. So what do you do with the pets then? Like, obviously look up that pet's anatomy to see where the heart is, and do you adjust the band and the sticky pads so it's not actually around their heart? Because, the electrical currents going through the heart might not be good.
I understand that. Well, it's interesting. That's something that Jamie I had never been told to me, and I have sat through Dr. Chan's training, and at no point had I heard that. But maybe I didn't have my listeners on. But this little tool that they give you is great. But really, for me, and this is where you're not going to repeat this to corporate, right? I really prefer the so much simpler. And the other thing is this here, it can get caught up, right? If you've got a young dog, putting these kind of things on it is just dangerous, which is, whilst I've given you the demonstration, I rarely ever use that. And, particularly what you're saying, if I thought my pet had a heart problem, I wouldn't be anywhere near there, Jamie. So thank you for sharing that with us. That's kind of reaffirmed to us about being very, very careful with it. All right. And, if you think about the anatomy of the dog, it's just the same as the anatomy of us. And when you've got a tiny little pet like this, that's my concern and why I always want it slow and low. Had that helped you, Jamie? I've lost you off the screen.
Oh, here you go.
Awesome. Yeah, that does help. It's like, it's common sense. You know, you wouldn't place it really around their heart, and, you know, unless the dog's going to sit down or the cat and just relax with you, then there's no way, you know, that I would be using the cables either. But I'm just curious, now that Healy's got this phenomenal academy, is there any academy training on pets and the frequencies?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, fantastic.
Not to my knowledge either. Yes.
So,
I've
where would
always hoped at some point that someone would come on and teach us, because everything that I've learned has been through my own working with my own pets.
Yeah, fabulous. So is this recording available so we can then share it with our teams?
Yes, it will be available,
right.
Jamie.
Okay, and just to clarify, where will that be available so I can access it?
So there's always an email that goes out at the end of the month, but normally I get the link, so I can send you the link if you want to upload it into your group as well. I'll share it with Donna as well. It's going to be in my group, Freedom with Frequency Quantum Community. So there's always uploads as soon as possible. It is Thursday today, so hopefully by Monday, Tuesday will be available. So next week.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. And this goes... Sorry, Donna.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I was just saying there is a question there about the intensity. As I said, 15 to 25 under the pink is the tops that I use it at. You know, there is other people that, other practitioners that animal practitioners that I know use a lot higher frequency, but personally I don't do that. You know, and that just comes back from observing the pet. Yeah, Nicola, I'm of the belief that our pets, if they want to get up and walk away, then we know that they've had enough. All right. Yes, and I place the quill beside them. I rarely ever clip anything to my pets. I mean, there's a photo of Ajax all hooked up, and if you go through, there's some Healy group or frequency group that we started 4 years ago, and you'll see me wrestling him down on the ground and holding him there. It was more for my entertainment than I think his. And I used to put his paw on the screen because we didn't have anybody to teach us any of these things. We just did what we thought we were doing. And it wasn't until later on that I realized you don't need to put their paw on there, but it's entertaining to do it if you want to give it a crack. But, you know, I've had such amazing success with my pets, and I've used the Healy for arthritis, for, you know, gut issues, just a whole swag of things with my pets, my cat, my dog. You know, it's always been my go-to. And if anybody calls me that has a Healy and their pets aren't feeling well, the very first thing I say is, have you done the animal program? Have you scanned them? You know, what are you doing? There we go. Robin. Oh, there's beautiful Robin. Robin uses her Healy all the time with her pets. She's an amazing dog owner and also has a beautiful business with pets. Same thing, you know, it's such a tool to use, and a beautiful tool if you use it the right way with your pets. One thing people say to me, oh, I get my Healy out, my pets run away. And I start to laugh because I think, well, you've probably delivered frequencies way too high, and they go, freak out, and I don't want to go anywhere near that thing. Right? Remember that they can pick up on everything that we're doing. Suggestion, son's old dog whose eyes are not so good. Nicola, definitely run eyes in there for your incontinence. That is one that you might, and I used to run the incontinence programs for my old golden retriever. So if it's a male, you could even go back through in your bioenergetic balance too and do prostate. And you can have a look at some of in the meridians, right? Bladder under meridian 1. Yeah, just do a bit of specifically do meridian 1 and see what comes up, right? Or meridian 2. And remember too, when this be you or this be your pet, I always like to think it's like the onion effect, right? It might come up and say some crazy thing that you need to do. Just go with it, because this might be the first layer that needs to be addressed until you actually get to the real issue. All right. So sometimes it might be crazy. It might say something, you go, that just doesn't make sense. Go with the outside, go with the first thing it says, and then work your way through it. What about the idea that pets take on? Absolutely, Jeffrey, they do. I totally agree with that. Too often I will scan a human and I'll scan a pet and I laugh because they'll both come up with the same things. All right. Our pets will always be trying to help us and support us. What program will you recommend for cat fungus? Got no idea, Queenie. I would go and run on all programs and see what comes up. And then I would go through and I would run the animal program and support them that way. I really would need to know more about the cat fungus and what it is to specifically point you direction. But with a fungus, you might want to support with your Materia Medica if you've got the old device, the grandfather device, or go into your homeopathics and also support with that. Remember, we've got a swagger tools that are fantastic in there for our pets. Use everything that you can to support them.
Donna, we have a Surajit. He raised his hand. I'll just unmute him to ask a question.
Yep.
Surajit, you ready to ask the question? You just need to unmute. Okay, so he's somewhere else, I guess. That's okay. Jeffrey asked before about the heart as well. Somewhere in here. Can electrical current passing through the heart area be a safety issue and interfere with the heart rhythm?
I can't answer that for you because I'm not a vet and I can't diagnose. If you've got concerns, have a conversation with your own vet about it, or maybe reach out to Dr. Chan and ask him, right? Certainly if my pet had some sort of issues with heart, I would be looking at what I'm doing with them. And that's why if you're using your Blue app, remember it's going to your information field. Therefore, that should not have any effect whatsoever on your animal's heart, and nothing that you have to stress too much about. It's like I know pregnancy and heart are not in the same breath, but if you've got a pregnant animal, have a lot of consideration about delivering frequencies under the pink app to them. I would stick more to the Blue app, delivering those to them, being in the information field. Lorraine, I can't answer your question on the mag Healy because I do not have a mag Healy myself, but I do know there is some great frequencies under there as well. Anytime you can run through the heart as if you're using, yeah, okay. It's definitely a great question, Jeffrey, and really one that I would suggest that anybody feels free. Maybe Petra, you could reach out to Dr. Chan and ask him, could he answer that question? And then you could add that into the bottom of this recording.
Yep. I will see if they come back to me soon enough. Definitely. Well, Donna, this was amazing. I've learned again so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. I've popped into the chat Donna's Facebook group at the top. So please join her if you have pets, because you'll find all the information with her as well. Using Healy, like Donna said, be mindful, with your pets, especially if they're small. It's like babies and big people, right? The larger the person, the more we can take and absorb, and the smaller this person, the easier it is to pass through the body. So make sure to be gentle and kind. And of course, if you have any questions, you can pop them into our group or just ask Donna in her group as well. I am truly honored because this was an amazing session and you have so much knowledge about this, and we haven't even started. This is just the tip of the iceberg of literally working with the animals They're like little humans, right? They need our support, and they can't really talk. We can just, start reading the energy and start connecting with them, or connect with you, because you connect with animals, right, intuitively, and talk to them in the quantum field, instead of with the English language. And I think that's something that, comes to me naturally as well, and I feel like we should kind of learn this with animals as well. But thank you for joining us tonight, Donna. I am so honored and so grateful for you to come, for sharing your knowledge, and your time, and for everyone to join us tonight. Again, any questions, connect with Donna's group or post them into the post in our group. I will try to ask Dr. Chen if he can get back to me eventually, and Will can get back to you as well in the group. But if there's no other question, yeah.
I was going to say, when's the special on until?
So the special, so we have our animal kit. Oh yeah, let me just share this with you so you understand where to buy it. Here you go. So if you go on to Healy shop, yeah, under the sale, you will see all the different sales that are currently on, and on the bottom you'll have the animal advisor animal module, which you go order. And then you will see that that's the price is not that. The price is actually 426 in Australian dollars. But it is going to be in your country. When you go into your country, it's going to be in your currency. Yeah. But it is on a special for the APAC region. So you can actually go into your country, get it in your currency, and actually buy it online. You will get a free animal kit with it, either or. Yeah. So if you buy it, this is a lifetime price. And also you have an option to get a Healy coil, which Donna said is the easiest option as well for the animals, and I like it as well for myself. And you're gonna get a 50% off.
Great price.
Yeah, so this is a great package. We have asked Healy Corporate to actually offer this to us, and I love that they've listened and supported us. And this is specifically for you, for APAC region. So you have this option only for this month. This is not going to be next month. There's not going to be another promotion like this. We paired it with Donna's training specifically because we wanted this to be special for you. And you will find that in your back office in the shop area. Yeah. Sorry, Donna, you wanted to say anything?
No, that's perfect.
Oh,
I think it's fantastic.
perfect.
You've got every option you'll need for pets there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's all packaged in there beautifully for yourself. Surajit, are you asking question or are you just raising your hand?
No, I want to ask a question, please.
Yes.
Yeah, my query was that, I right now have only the Blue app, and I use it quite extensively, and it's been quite useful for my cats when they fall sick. But I noticed that there isn't much of description beyond running the Blue app based upon the recommendations. I do that, but I don't have a proper understanding of the description of what it's supposed to do. If I were to buy the animal program, would there be more details as to what each of those programs would entail? Would there be more detailed descriptions for me to understand what to use?
So, let me look in the book that came. There was somewhere, I was going to say somewhere because I haven't seen it recently, a list of the programs. And as much as what I've got here, it says eyes for all eye disorders, including signs of aging, etc. That's as much as I've got on here, which was in the slides.
Okay.
The only I have ever seen. That is if you actually go into your back office and download the animal, there's an animal flyer. That breakdown of information is on that flyer, but that's as much as I've seen. I'm sorry. I would like more myself. I'm like you. I like to dig in deeper and get more, but it's been shared with us.
Yeah, I will try to ask ask Healy Corporate for the original list of programs with a description for the animal program. I'll post it into the
Right.
group.
Thank you.
But yes, we also need to be mindful with the list of programs that Healy Corporate is putting out there, because we need to be TGA compliant. Unfortunately, on on a local scale or on a global scale, compliance is a big deal that we kind of need to work around. And unfortunately, we can't really say a lot of things publicly in order to.
What about the aura module? What about the aura module? Does that work on animals at all?
I've certainly used it on my animals as well. It's entirely up to you, like I like to scan just to see where they're at. Sometimes if they're not feeling well or there could be something going on, I do the aura. So because I can go, oh, okay, well, emotionally, this is where I might need to work, or,
Right.
really depends. What I've found, most people want to do the short, sharp, sweet, let's get it done type thing. But if you're like me and you like to document it out and have a look and follow through with what they're doing, go for the aura. It will give you that information as what's going on with them as well.
Thank you very much for that. Thanks.
No problems at all. Appreciate your
Thank you,
questions.
Sirajit.
Thanks.
All right, I said we'd finish on time. We're 10 minutes late. So thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you, Donna, for everything. Thank you for your time. Thank you for going over. And thank you, everyone, for coming. We will have the recording available for you next week. And I will track down the programs and stuff. And then you can ask extra questions in the group, either in Donna's or either in mine. But I will thank you for tonight and wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead of time. And I'll see you next week on Thursday. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.